¿Cómo se llama?
Antonio.
Tony Slumz. What up? Tony Slumz, producer, writer, engineer. And I've had the SP for about 4 or 5 weeks. And here is my overall review on it. Love it. Straight up. I don't feel like it was a waste of my money or anything like that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Right off rip, one of the things that has nothing to do with the music aspect of it is just straight narcissism. Is this cool little thing that I did? Let me see. Gang. Empty lot. That's what's cool. Outside of that, its sound emulator is super dope. If someone just told me that, hey yo, here's this little brick, you can plug in your outs into your ins, and you can run it through different effects, kind of like a pedal board, I believe, I would have been sold. I could see that being around the price of like $250, maybe $300, especially for what it does with the cassette tape vinyl scatter, the 303, the 404 vinyl simulators, its delay, its reverb, just being able to tweak all those little things real time and then run it and record it like that is really dope. I used the scatter playing melodies and then seeing how it would chop it up, and then from there I would re-chop it up and it was fun. It was a cool new way to kind of play and learn different melodies. That alone was really dope. One thing that it really helped me out with a lot was my attention to detail. Now with Machine, I'm able, like, Machine is my go-to DAW right now. It has been for a while. I know it really well. I can start a beat and just build it up, flesh it out. Within 10 minutes, I have more than a general idea, and then I'm spending the rest of the time kind of doing like some light mixing, fine tuning, figuring out where the chorus is gonna be, bridge, things like that. With this, I will spend the same amount of time just getting my samples in order, which to some people it can sound frustrating. To me, it was fun. It was dope. It was a good way to kind of relearn how to chop, relearn how to pay attention to the extra nuances that are going on in the sample. Like, there were samples that for some weird reason I couldn't figure out on Machine. They just didn't sound right. I wasn't putting them together right. Like, the puzzle was off. But with this, it was like having, I don't know if you remember, like, little red and blue color lenses like they would wear, and you would kind of like see things differently. It was like that. I was able to see the sample differently because I was focusing on each chop so surgically, and just, all right, here's the tuning, and you know what emulator is it under, what effect is it under, and things like that was really dope. And it was fun. It was fun. Like, the samples that I probably would have never been able to make even a simple 4-bar loop, I was able to do with this, which is really dope. Another thing that I really liked about it, which I didn't think I would, was the pads. In terms of finger drumming, I'm not the best, far from the greatest, but it is super fun. I think because it's like one-handed, I can kind of, if I piece my stuff together, it's really easy for me to finger drum on this as opposed to the MPC or Machine, which is crazy. But yeah, it's like this one was a lot easier for me to finger drum, to play live and things like that. That's what was really dope. What I didn't like about it, there's a handful of things, but they're nitpicky. I think the things you're not gonna like about them, things you are gonna love about this, are always gonna fall into you as a producer, you as the engineer, you as the artist. What are you really gonna use out of it? Now, I haven't used the DJ mode because I don't see a reason for it. I haven't used the vocoder yet because I haven't been given the opportunity. Like, it wasn't on top of my list of things to use. Yeah, so I haven't done that. I've only figured out how to make patterns, and it's fun. It's cool having like these ideas. What kind of like threw me off was the only way I can really record a quote unquote song is plugging it into Ableton on my MacBook and just playing the beat, and which gives it a really live feel. but I kind of understand why a lot of people who gravitate towards the SP don't really gravitate towards working with artists as well, especially if your SP is your tool to use. You know what I mean? Because stemming something out is going to be a headache, and you know, kind of the way you print the beat is the way you print the beat, and if you don't leave it open for vocalists, then I mean, it is what it is. So and just I kind of get it. I understand it. Why there's a lot of people who I know use the SP, and they're just like, well, yeah, I just make beats. Like they weren't really focusing on making songs with artists and stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of understood that. Figuring out how to put it together. The battery life with the AA batteries, I think it's only like 2 hours. I kind of got used to the MPC. I think it's 6 hours on standalone. I was gonna do a set, and I was excited to use the SP on my set, but unfortunately that got canceled. So now I'm just waiting to do. I'm waiting for a set, man. I really want to put the MPC and the SP and work with them in tandem. I think it's gonna be a hella dope. I'm really looking forward to that. I know it's gonna come. Just waiting. Who knows? Let's go to New York and let's do a set over there or some shit. But yeah, it was really, really fun. It's now that I'm just kind of thinking about it, and I'm trying to like voice everything that I like about it. It's kind of hard to, because I haven't given it enough time still, you know, enough to kind of talk about it, be like, hey, yo, this is what I really like about it. This is what's hard. This is, you know, and just what I've already said. But in terms of the nuances, because anytime you start with anything, it's always going to be the nuances. It's always going to be the small things that are really going to kind of like separate which ones you're going to use more, which ones you're going to use less. Because I remember when I first got the MPC, I was in love with it. I used it like crazy. And then I slowly started gravitating towards back to my machine, because I love having the computer there. And the MPC DAW just isn't, like, I'm still haven't figured it out perfectly and things like that. I really like it. I highly recommend it if you can get it. For me, someone who, like I said, comes from a DAW and chain, it's a good... It felt good. I felt like I was reconnecting with an older me, and just, you know, relearning a lot of little things and refocusing on a lot of little things in terms of how I was putting together my beats, and just being a little selfish as a producer, where I wasn't thinking about someone rapping on this. I was just thinking, this sounds dope. This sounds cool. Like this is, you know, it's, if you, of course you can rap on it, because I still have that mentality, but it wasn't my focus. It wasn't my main thing as it usually is, where it's like, oh, I'm making this for someone to rap on. Is I was making this and someone could rap on it, you know, and there's a distinction there. So yeah, no rating system, but I like it. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I kind of shouted out these two a lot, so maybe I will do some reviews on Machine and MPC next, just because. And yeah, you know, let me know if there's anything you guys want me to touch on.